Kristy's bag of baseball equipment contains a wrench. Why does Kristy need a wrench to play baseball? Does she use it to threaten people with?
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
This book was written by Peter Larangis. Baseball practice goes badly, the kids make a lot of mistakes. Maybe they're distracted by the news that a new family is moving into the neighborhood. Kristy's interested to hear they have two 12-year-old girls. Well now, that would be interesting, if the girls ever had friends outside the Babysitters Club. The BSC is super busy now that Dawn is gone. We're told Shannon can't fill in for Dawn because she's busy with school and clubs this year. That sounds like a weak excuse to me, because it did not stop Shannon from replacing Dawn last time. Kristy's reluctant to look for a new club member, because that didn't work 2 years ago. Obviously they can't try again. There's another bad practice, and Kristy obsesses over the new neighbors. School has started. Why haven't they moved in yet? Why aren't they here? They should be here. The house looks done. Kristy checks their house every day, and geez, calm down, Kristy. 7-year-old Drusilla from the Little Sister series is moving next door for a while because her parents are getting divorced. Drew is upset and doesn't want to talk about anything. Kristy thinks sports is a great solution to every problem, so she tries to convince Drew to join her baseball team. For the sake of the plot, the team goes from being terrible to fantastic for a day. They play so well, they catch the attention of Neil Davis. Mr. Davis runs a diaper delivery service called Davis Diapers. He's so impressed by the Crushers, he offers to sponsor the team. They'll get new equipment and uniforms in exchange for advertising. Kristy's parents and friends think it's a good idea, so she accepts Mr. Davis's offer. The new neighbors show up. The twins are 5'7" and tan, with the kind of long curly hair that's glamorous on them, but hideous on Mallory. Anna is the smart one who wears fancy clothes all the time and loves classical music. Abby wears glasses and sneezes all the time. She talks wide diff because the thigh and that gets really annoying fast. I do not like reading congested talk spelling. Thank goodness this series stopped doing Logan has an accent spelling. That was also annoying. So the twins stay at Kristy's house overnight, where Abby hogs the conversation. She tells non-stop jokes, including 7 impersonations. This is a terrible way to demonstrate that Abby is funny, because it's literally impossible for us to hear the impersonations. Between this and the congested spelling, I'd say this is a terrible introduction to Abby. The Stevensons moved from New York to Connecticut because Mom got a job in New York. Wait, what? She got a job in New York, so she moved away from New York? That sounds weird to me. Her new job is executive editor of a publishing house. I am pretty darn certain that the book's publishers were the ones who came up with that idea. Abby is visibly annoyed when people don't pay attention to her, so she goes away and she entertains the little kids. Little kids will laugh at anything. The next day, Abby shows off her baseball skills. She's a natural athlete, although she would never join a team. Kristy thinks Abby's a show-off, but maybe Kristy is a little jealous that Abby is better at sports than her. So Kristy makes friends with Anna instead of Abby. She's surprised at how different the two twins are. Does Kristy not remember that the Arnold twins are the exact same way? Continuity! Anna says they sometimes have psychic twin powers, which I'm sincerely hoping to see in a future book. 2 hot guys call out to Abby in the hallway, and Kristy implies that Abby is trashy.
How did she know 2 of SMS's coolest guys already? And well enough to be called by a nickname? I guess baseball wasn't Abby's only skill.
The Babysitters Club. The best friends you'll ever have. Kristy introduces the twins to the other BSC members. Abby does more imitations, and Anna's accepted into the school orchestra. Anna gets somewhat mad when Mary Ann mentions the Easy Light classical music station, and we never hear about it again. It's just a random thing that makes Anna mad. After that long interlude of non-stop Abby and Anna, the book goes back to the main storyline. The new uniforms say Davis Diapers. They have pictures of diapers on them. Kristy is horrified, but she tries to make the best out of the situation. After all, she agreed to this, and no, she didn't! Davis said he would get them new uniforms. He didn't say he would change the team's name. That's a pretty big detail to leave out. If I was Kristy, I'd be super mad, and rightfully so. Actually, if I was Kristy, I'd have my millionaire stepfather get new equipment for the team and avoid the entire problem to begin with, but that's just me. The kids hate the new uniforms and get mad at Kristy. Their practices are bad, and on game day, several of the kids pretend their uniforms were destroyed just to get out of wearing them. They lose the game by a landslide, and Mr. Davis is upset. The Babysitters Club is busier than ever. Kristy decides to worry about finding a new club member after the baseball series is over, because her problems are more important than anyone else's. In the subplot, Drew joins the baseball team. She decides she likes music better than sports, so she purposely misbehaves to get herself kicked off the team. Then she forms a band with some other kids. The band is terrible, but everybody at the baseball game is entertained by them. The next practice is bad until Abby shows up. She gives the kids joke advice, like pretend to be monkeys, and then they play fantastically. At the next game, Mr. Davis is out of control. He bosses the kids around. He constantly insults them because he doesn't want to sponsor a bunch of losers. Abby yells at him for being a jerk, and Kristy drops him as a sponsor. The team is so happy about this, they go on to win the series. Kristy makes Abby her assistant coach, and she decides to ask the twins to join the Babysitters Club. Everybody likes the idea, except Jesse and Mallory, who weren't in this book, so they have no opinion about the twins. Anna says she's too busy to join, but Abby says yes, so she's the new member of the Babysitters Club. The end. Post-book follow-up. I thought it was kind of clever how the book built up the friendship between Kristy and Anna. That way, it's a surprise when Abby joins the club, not Anna. It's a good end-of-book plot twist. The problem is that Abby is annoying for the first half of the book, and Kristy openly hates her. I don't want to see Abby join the club now. The book put too much effort into making Abby unlikable. As I said, it's a terrible introduction to her, so I'd say the plot twist backfired. Abby and Anna are in the same grade as Kristy and the other BSC members. This is wrong. In Connecticut, your grade is determined by your age in January. Since the twins don't turn 13 for another 7 books, they should be in 7th grade. It would be interesting to have a 7th grade BSC member, someone who bridges the gap between the junior members and the main members, not to mention the fact the girls were all 12 in the first 9 books. But no, Abby's just a 13-year-old, 12-year-old. It's weird. I think this book took the easy way out by having Davis become a villain in his last chapter. That way Kristy has a good excuse to fire him. If he had stayed neutral, Kristy would have been forced to make a difficult decision between him and the team's morale. That would have been more interesting, and it would thematically tie into the decision of picking a new BSC member. This is not a big deal, it's just something I thought of. Overall, I half liked the Abby and Diaper storylines. I didn't like the Drew storyline, but I will give the book credit for tying all 3 storylines together very nicely, rather than leaving them completely separate like a lot of other books in the series do. So, half like, and did not like, plus a bonus point. I give Babysitters Club number 89, Kristy and the Dirty Diapers, a 5 out of 10. As a casual fan of the series, I had no idea this was the first time we meet Abby. I thought she first appeared in the next book, Welcome to the BSC Abby. I wonder how many other people missed out on Abby's first appearance because they didn't want to read a diaper book.